Hi parents, my name is Mrs. Zerbel and I am a first grade teacher here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I wanted to talk to you about some exciting changes that are happening in our district and in our state and in reading instruction across our nation. The program I want to talk to you about is the science of reading. You might hear that now. And it is a more phonics way or a more structured way, a reading approach to teaching reading to small children. And I know I've been teaching for 26 years, so I totally understand that you might think, what, something new? And I wanted you to know that this program has done their research. Literally, they have studied how children learn to read, and it has brain research behind it for over 40 years. So feel good about that. So what is the science of reading? Well, it is a more structured and phonics-based way of teaching reading. And today's video, I just want to go over some changes that you might see as a parent in small group instruction, in those little books. So for example, your child has probably brought home little readers in a bag or some books for you on their level that they were supposed to read at home. Right? And I want to explain how that is going to change in the next few years based on the science of reading. Okay? Those books are typically called leveled readers or pattern books. And that's a good description of what they are, because through the science of reading, teachers are learning and starting to understand that this is really more memorizing than it is reading. Now, you've probably read with your child and you're like, oh, they can read this book with their eyes closed. That's because they're really just following the pattern and they're really not reading the book, the text. And if you took away the picture and had those words in isolation, those words they probably couldn't read on their own. I'm going to give you an example. So here's one called Going Out. It's a leveled reader or a pattern book. And on each page, the pattern is the same. We are going to the beach. We are going to the market. We are going to the park. And you can see there are words on here that if I took that word beach, if they don't know the two vowels rule, that this vowel is saying the E, they probably couldn't read it in isolation. There is a video called the Purple Reading Challenge where a parent really breaks this down in terms that I found really exciting for parents and for teachers alike to understand how this really is just guessing and not reading. Okay, so that's one example. Here's another one. We help our grandpa. We help our grandma. We help our cat. We help our dog. It's just the same pattern on every page. They're really not decoding those words. So what are we going to use instead? Good question. We are switching over from those leveled pattern books to a more structured and phonics-based program called decodables. So these books are books that are going to follow a pattern. This one's going to have the short I and the short A words in there. So this one are words that they've been exposed to, sounds that they know. So if I'm working on short A in my classroom, my books for that week are also going to have that short A pattern. So this is a more structured way. So this is called a decodable book. And you can find several different kinds of decodable books online. And we are switching over our libraries for small group reading in Arkansas, but also in lots of classrooms across the nation. So if you are looking for decodables to help your student at home, books that they can sound out on their own, Half Pint Books is a great little site, and they have decodables for free online. Dandelion, Spire, Primary Phonics, even the Bob books. Do you remember those? Yeah, so there's lots of ways that you could help at home with some of those decodable books. So let's see. The other thing you can do while reading at home is if they get to a word that you think is a sight word or a word that they don't know. Let's say they're reading and they say, we lick our friends. Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? So you find that word lick, which is really like, and if you know the rule, please explain it to them. The silent E tells the I to say I, and explain the rule. But if you don't, just tell it to them, and please don't make them guess, because if you make them guess or use picture clues, they're going to start using that as their reading strategy. And we really want to build decoders and readers, and we really want to break the code of English and not guess. I hope that makes sense. I plan on doing a lot of videos like this, and I hope they're helpful for parents. The next video I want to, and subject I want to tackle is those sight words, but really what we call them high frequency words. And there is a specific way through the science of reading that you can teach those sight words or high frequency words to help your students. So I'm going to do a video about that, and I plan on doing lots of videos like this that I hope you find helpful. Okay? And let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll try to address them. Thanks.